3 reasons why you should learn to play squash with both hands, and 3 reasons why you shouldn't. Reason number 1. According to the British Journal of Sports Medicine, around 40% of tennis players will develop tennis elbow at some point in their career. You can imagine the numbers for squash players are pretty similar. I know I've had several issues with my arms just in these past few years. Many arm-related injuries can take weeks or even months to heal, especially if it's a form of tendonitis. During this time, the last thing you should be doing is playing more squash. However, if you have the ability to use your other hand, even at a lower level, you can still enjoy the game while you heal. Reason number 2. As a coach, learning to play with your non-dominant hand can provide a lot of insight into the struggles that new players have. Most of us can't remember how it felt to pick up a squash racket for the first time. Your beginner program might actually be too advanced for some people. For those that have never played a racket sport before, even picking up the ball can be a challenge. With this newfound insight, you can create training programs for people who find even beginner squash programs too difficult. Reason number 3. Playing with your other hand can help fix some of the muscular imbalances that naturally develop. Unless you weight train specifically to address it, your dominant arm will usually be larger. Even when playing squash, you might lunge on one leg more than the other. However, if you switch hands, you can help counteract these imbalances. Now for 3 reasons why you should not learn to play squash with both hands. Reason number 1. It can be quite frustrating if you don't have the patience. I've spoken to a couple of players who tried learning with their other hand and just gave up. Assuming you are fairly proficient with your dominant hand, even getting to the point where you can have decent rallies down the sidewall can take months of training. In my case, my tendonitis was taking a while, so I had nothing better to do. On the other hand, see what I did there? I have known many players who were able to very successfully learn to play with their other hand. I've lost to a few of them over the years. Reason number 2. It takes up a lot of time that could be used perfecting your game with your dominant arm. This one's fairly obvious, I think. We're all busy, and finding time to practice normally can be a challenge. Reason number 3. Unless you have someone teaching you proper technique and correcting any issues, you might end up with injuries on this arm too. Most people will find learning technique with their non-dominant hand even harder. This makes sense since your dominant arm has had years of fine motor training doing all sorts of different actions. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and check out thepursuitofsquash.com for drills to improve your squash.